My entitled family kicked me out, then demanded my 3-bedroom house for my brother's family of 6, all because I don't have kids. When I was 19, my parents told me I had 2 weeks to move out, not because I did anything wrong, but because my older brother Derek and his wife Ashley were having their 3rd kid and needed my bedroom. They said since I was in college and didn't have a family, I could figure it out. I was a sophomore working 2 part-time jobs just to help pay for textbooks. I begged them to let me stay until the semester ended, just 8 more weeks. My mom actually laughed and said I was being dramatic, that I'd thank them later for teaching me independence. Derek stood there nodding like it made perfect sense to kick out his little sister so his kids could have a playroom. I moved into this tiny studio apartment that smelled like cigarettes and cost half my paycheck. Ate ramen for dinner most nights. Stopped going home for holidays because seeing them all together in my old room hurt too much. My parents never called to check if I was okay. Not once. Fast forward 12 years. I'm 31 now, working as a software engineer making 6 figures. I bought a beautiful 3-bedroom house last year in a great neighborhood. Hardwood floors, big backyard, the whole thing. I earned every single square foot of that house myself. Then last month my mom called me out of nowhere. First time in maybe 2 years. She was all sweet and chatty, asking about my job and my house. I knew something was up. Finally, she got to the point. Derek and Ashley just had baby number 6. Their apartment was too small. They were struggling. And since I didn't have kids and lived alone, would I consider letting them move into my house? I literally laughed out loud. I said, "Mom, you kicked me out of your house 12 years ago so Derek could have more space. Why would I give him mine?" She got quiet for a second. Then her voice changed to that guilt trip tone I remembered from childhood. "We raised you and fed you for 19 years. You owe us. This is what family does. They help each other." I told her I'd think about it and hung up. 2 days later, my entire family showed up at my door unannounced. Mom, Dad, Derek, Ashley, and all 6 kids. They walked in like they owned the place. Kids immediately running through my house, touching everything. Derek sat on my couch and said they'd been talking. The best solution was for me to move back into an apartment since I was just one person. They'd take over the mortgage payments and I could visit whenever I wanted. Ashley was already planning which kid would get which bedroom. I stood there in complete shock. My dad said I was being selfish by hoarding all this space. That Derek needed this house more than I did because he had a real family. That cut deep. A real family. Like I was less important because I chose not to have kids. I told them all to get out. Derek refused. Said they'd already put in their 30-day notice at their apartment because Mom told them I'd say yes. That I always did what Mom wanted eventually. I pulled out my phone and called the cops right in front of them. Told the dispatcher I had trespassers refusing to leave my property. My mother's face went white. She started backtracking, saying it was all a misunderstanding. But Derek was still arguing, saying I couldn't actually call the cops on family. The police showed up 10 minutes later. I explained the situation calmly while Derek yelled about how I was ruining his kids' lives. The officers escorted my entire family off my property and told them not to come back without my permission. Before they left, one cop pulled me aside. He said I should consider getting a restraining order because family disputes like this usually escalate. I took his advice. Filed for a restraining order the next day. My parents sent my aunt to try to convince me to drop it. Said I was tearing the family apart over nothing. That Derek's kids needed stability and I was destroying their chance at a better life. I told my aunt the same thing I told the judge. I don't owe them anything. They made it clear 12 years ago that I wasn't really part of their family. Now I have a restraining order, new locks on all my doors, and security cameras covering every angle of my property. Derek and Ashley ended up moving in with my parents. Last I heard, all 6 kids are sharing one bedroom and everyone's miserable. My mom left me a voicemail last week crying about how cramped their house is, how I'm being cruel by keeping my extra bedrooms empty. I deleted it without listening to the whole thing. My house is perfect exactly the way it is.